All right, so Ready Player One, a sci-fi book, I guess you could say, based on an Ernest Cline novel of the same name. It's set in the year 2045, about a dystopian future where basically life fucking sucks and everybody escapes it through the Oasis. What is the Oasis, you might dare ask? The Oasis is some killer futuristic technology that has been developed, whose creator has died. And through his death has left a competition in his virtual reality with keys that any player can find the key, and the player that finds the key gains entire control of the Oasis.
That sounds way different than the Oasis I thought you were going to say, because when I think Oasis, I think of like an old retirement home in Florida. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That's probably what they thought, too.
Yeah. This is Steven Spielberg's version of what the Oasis would be, basically.
He might be living at the Oasis soon.
He might be. Which, brought that dude out of his shell to direct again. And a big part of that is probably the creator of the Oasis was like obsessed with the 80s. So a lot of the, the keys and clues and things like that to find these keys in his competition are based on 80s pop culture stuff. So yeah, it's madness. Check out this clip. Take a look.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid. My mom too. And I ended up here. Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello. If you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him. This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis, the world's most important economic resource.
It's nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight?
Help us save the Oasis.
Spoilers, guys.
Yeah,
if you have
time.
Yet to see it, we're going to talk on everything. So stop the
Dumbledore
video
dies.
right here and fast forward to the end when we say goodbye now. So, spoilers.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, spoil time.
Oh, God.
Talk on it. Speak on it.
Do you want to? Should we start with the book? Comparing.
Yeah. We can do a book comparison.
Yeah.
How do you guys think it compared to the book?
So here's the thing. Again, going back to this, adaptations for me are like they're really important. I love adaptations. I think that movie adaptations of a book or a graphic novel of any sort are an entirely different product. They are not the same as the product that is the first distributed. Like they were, part of the movie is that Shining is not that the author doesn't love The Shining, right? Like but that's okay. I think they're two different products. So the movie was meant more for fun, just fun, kind of fantastical, crazy CGI, all that stuff. It wasn't set for the way that the book was. The book was meant to kind of bring up this nostalgic feel of emotion of like just discovery journey, like battling against corporations, the dystopian futures, all that kind of stuff.
And I think it's way harder than we think, right?
Yeah.
To adapt it from a book. It's got to be very tough.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. There's so many details and like little side stories, and
it's
to try to jam everything into like 120 minutes. Effective storytelling is probably a challenge.
But it's super hard to not compare it. Like when you like a book so much, you got to really check that.
Yeah.
Like when you go into it.
That is true.
And so, yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind that it was different.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mind, but I just didn't. The execution all the way through was inconsistent for me. But but I didn't mind actually that they like changed a few things and stuff. Yeah, because I think they had to.
Yeah, they had to. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we'll get into those changes.
I was gonna say. So it sounds like you guys. I mean, we're all pretty much the same consensus that it didn't follow the book very strictly.
No, not at all.
No.
So
the Shining scene, like all that was not. I don't remember that being in the book.
Yeah. So I mean, so some of the changes I noticed, I'd be curious to see what maybe you picked up that I didn't, and I'll preface it by saying it's probably been about maybe close to a year since I've read the book.
Too. Yeah.
So I don't have the greatest memory in the world.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost of the sense that I don't think it matters. Like I think that the differences they didn't matter enough to where they were like substantial.
Mm-hmm.
So like even the fact is in the book how they go to war games, right? They have to live out that scene.
Yes.
The way that they kind of changed that more to being like she saw a picture. Like it was going to be too hard to the picture on the wall from The Shining. Like it was going to be too hard to build that scene into a movie in a way that would be like.
I mean, some of those sequences could have been like mini movies on their own, right? So it was. I'm sure that the idea was we can either do it well or not do it at all. Those are like our only two options, for some of those sequences, like the movie reenactment. There's in the book, and for those who haven't read the book, there's like parts in the book where to get a key, they have to like reenact a scene from a movie line by line and say the dialogue perfectly without messing it up. They didn't have any of that. They didn't have any, and it's really cool. It reads great in the book, and it makes for a very like thrilling, kind of exciting moment in the story. And it also speaks to like a fundamental theme of the book, which was like how nerdy these people are. I mean, just how obsessed these people are with discovering like every nook and cranny and facet of these like figments of pop culture in the 80s. Yeah, to the point where they can recite the dialogue down to the syllable, of certain movies. So the book was great at kind of showcasing that, and they left that totally out. So
that's the thing is like that's kind of a big part of. I think they captured this sense of Ray Halladay, the fact that he's very. I think a big part of like techies in general, or at least what I noticed from working in tech, is there's a lot of ways that I honestly techies we're kind of shitty people, but there's a certain level of like interest in things and excitement and nerdiness and like that sense of they captured that really well in his character. I think the book captured it way better than the movie. I think the movie captured that sense as well, which is like the whole purpose of life is to get super into something and to love it, and if you're gonna chase after it, go for it fully and like passionately. That is what makes you like an interesting, important person.
People identify with that. That's kind of where they, their confidence is. It's a source of confidence and self-identification. That knowledge that they've amassed, for sure. So, and then I noticed too, like the, what's the Artemis. His girl that he loves, he falls in love with, of course.
Pretty quickly.
She's like part of this like crazy rebel group or something in the movie. And was that in the book? I don't remember her being. She was like a lone warrior, right?
I think so.
And I remember he like fell for her, and the way he fell for her, it wasn't like he'd met her and like thought she was beautiful. Her avatar is beautiful,
right?
Everybody's avatar is beautiful, probably, right?
Yeah.
But the way in the book he fell in love with her was from like tracking her. Like, I think she wrote, like, journals or blog. She had a blog or something in that universe. Yeah. And he'd been following it for years and, like, just kind of through her words and, her, like, interests and stuff that, he made a connection with her and fell for her that way. I thought that was kind of cool in the book. They didn't do that in the movie.
Yeah.
And they had her be part of this crazy rebel group of the ILI and stuff, so.
And he was already really good looking at the beginning of the movie.
That's the Hollywood touch.
It's Hollywood
like, he was, like,
touch.
fat and pimply in the book.
And the fact that they're both both like, "You're not really gonna like me," and like, they're both like gorgeous people.
She's like gorgeous. She's got like
she's a dog. She's got like a scar. Oh my god, she's beautiful. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean that's Hollywood.
Hollywood for sure.
They like Hollywood, no like ugly people.
Yeah. Oh man, too good.
But yeah. Did you pick up any differences?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was in the book and it was in the movie, but the Halliday explaining like his video.
Yes.
You know, telling the world.
That was cool.
I liked it, but I wish they went a little bit more because in the book it was long.
Yeah, it was super.
It went really long, and of course they couldn't do the whole thing.
Yeah,
true.
But I wish they did just a touch more because I liked his character. I thought his character was pretty great. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
it was funny.
He was badass in the
So yeah, I wish they had focused on that because that like built it up so much.
Yeah,
that there's like this huge Easter egg thing.
Yeah,
and after they were done, you know, building that up. Like every time in the book they talked about the scoreboard or something, I was like, "Oh shit, who's number one?" Yeah,
because people would like drop and go back up and drop. And
so I wish they built it a little bit more. Just in the movie, just like 5 more minutes or something like that.
But like we were already talking about Spielberg films earlier, and that's the thing is this is a Spielberg film. It's meant to be super like even the ending. You're just kind of like. There's always those cheesy scenes, or those cheesy parts, where they got like the kissing scene at the end. Like those types of things are like very Spielberg, or like even the part like the sounds or like the little touches of like when the guy gets arrested, you know, they think ding, like he's the bad guy. You know? I don't know how they explain it, but Spielberg does that really. You know, he appeals well to kids in that way.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. I gotta talk to him. We gotta talk to him. We'll have him on.
Get him on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the end, but while I'm thinking of it, this is just like a weird nitpicky thing that confused me. But I'm curious what you thought. So at the very end, right, when everybody gets blown and zeroes out. Well, first off, the idea is like if you get killed, you lose everything you've ever acquired in that character, right?
Yeah.
So if everyone was killed, including Percival, how did he still have all 3 keys when he used his 1-up? Technically, shouldn't he have lost those keys that he acquired in that original character?
I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe like those items are special and you can never lose those, but technically you'd almost think like... Because I remember that was a part of the book, too, where like sometimes you'd have to go back and do a challenge again to regain the key, right?
That's right.
So, that was a little like... Again, they had to kind of mess with like some of the details to make the story work.
Yeah, like
he should have lost the keys. Technically, he should have had to go back and do all those challenges again, and then come back and play Adventure.
But we're not going to watch that movie. Like that's a 2-hour long. Yeah. I mean, if the, that's the thing is you have to.
And did you notice how he had a purple T-shirt in one scene, and then it went to like a light purple T?
Oh my gosh. I think, like I said, the things I did like were. They didn't shade away from like going into like 80s and 90s nostalgia or things that we really liked. I thought they were going to play to a younger audience, that they were going to play to like a current millennial, you know, the term's thrown around, but like that they were going to try to play to that audience more by using current references. But they didn't, and I love that. Like like the Gundam scene was just like to see a Gundam in a thing outside of Gundam was really like meaningful.
What's a Gundam again? I've heard that term.
So there's just like there's a series of shows.
Gundam style?
Yeah. No. Oh my god.
Whoop.
Opa Gundam style. So yeah, like I think so Gundams basically they were like, did you ever watch Adult Swim?
A little bit.
So that was like I think you guys are a little older than I am, but that was the generation I feel like what we really got into was Adult Swim, which was like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, bunch of anime, which I think in the book references a lot. There's a lot of anime, and Gundam was like one of them that was really big when I was a kid.
Yeah, so you were excited to see that.
That
was that on the battlefield?
Yes, that was on the battlefield. Yeah. Seeing Gundam Zero.
Yeah, that's a great question for Danny D. Favorite reference of the movie? What was
Mortal Kombat, like Goro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Goro was sick.
Goro was sick.
Goro man.
I really liked it.
And coupled with the alien,
the alien
chest rip.
Yeah, that was.
Damn it, you might have took mine.
Also, there is one little one. Sorry, I'll ask you about yours, but there's a Back to the Future the obvious reference, and then there's this. I'm nerdy for that movie so much that there's a couple sounds, like sound effects.
Well,
they do that one.
Yeah. Or did you notice the Zemeckis cue?
There was a Zemeckis cue.
Like,
right.
yeah, when he used it,
Right.
and obviously the reference Back to the Future, it rewinds time 60 seconds.
That's right.
When he used it, it played like a little sound effect from Back to the Future. That might be what you're talking about. Yeah, that was
I love
just
that.
hearing that sound just brings up a lot of
makes
memories.
you happy. Yeah.
Just completely, fuck, man, I think he took mine.
How about yours?
I will say I
Different
caught a really cool little reference in there. I don't know if you guys caught the A-Team band.
No, I didn't see that.
In the race, one of the vehicles was a total A-Team band.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'll pity the fool.
Nice
I
catch.
love that shit, man. Come on.
Cool.
That race scene was great. I mean,
that was really good. I thought they filmed that.
They
so
almost
well
like
with
fucked
King
up with
Kong.
that because it was so good at from that point on.
You know what? I kind of agree.
Wow, that's
it was hard after that because
that's hard to top.
It
that
was
race
so
scene.
good, dude.
They did I think they did the club scene was very much like the book. That was probably the most book-like scene of the whole movie. Was that they went almost word for word. I think on that scene. It was really cool.
It's funny, almost how I pictured it. Close.
Yeah.
It was close to how I pictured it in the book.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
Like the levitating 360 degrees. Dance floor.
But yeah, that for me the chase and the first like 20-30 minutes is so good that it was hard to match afterwards. Kong was just fucking badass,
that was
and
so sick.
the T-Rex coming out of nowhere was like, dude, that was really fun.
Wow, man, I really enjoyed that.